I'm gonna show you something beautiful. Everyone screaming for mercy. You want to protect the world, but you don't want it to change. You're all puppets, tangled in strings.
We start the film in the forest. Our heroes from Avengers 1 are in the hunt of Hydra and the Scepter. And it's a great way of sort of introducing our heroes and reminding us of all their various different powers. And at the same time, it's a way of introducing to us the fact that our heroes have all these great talents, but they face a new foe in twin brother and sister who have developed superpowers that they've never faced before.
I'm gonna tear you apart from the inside.
Oh boy.
Pietro, he's all about speed. So visually, he's just kind of a disturbance of air when he comes screaming by. And so basically, I just created probably thousands of various different fast sounds that had a really strong Doppler to them, but also had a bit of an agitation within them. So rather than it would be a type of percussive, stuttering type of sound. Ultron, in a way, has a birthing, if you will, or he becomes alive in this moment where Tony's shutting all of his computers down and getting ready for his party, and suddenly we hear this voice that we've never heard before, and suddenly Jarvis says, "Wait a minute, who are you? What?" And you're supposed to be a security protocol, and we quickly realize that Ultron is not the friendly ally that we suspected.
The handle's imprinted. Whosoever is carrying Thor's fingerprints is, I think, the literal translation.
Yes, well, that's a very interesting theory. I have a simpler one. You're all not worthy.
How could you be worthy? You're all puppets, tangled in strings.
I established a methodology that worked for Hulk in Avengers 1, and in Avengers 2, he needed to go a slightly different direction. And it's specifically because Wanda basically infects Banner's mind, and so the second time in the film, but the first time that Hulk really makes a statement within the film in the scene that we call Hulkbuster. And so, I needed to come up with this sort of sense of him being dazed and really not understanding what his rage is and why he's enraged. And so he needed to speak to a different sort of level of intensity.
You listen to me? That little witch is messing with your mind. You're stronger than her. You're smarter than her. You're Bruce Banner. Right? Don't mention puny Banner.
Okay.
This scene is a scene where Wanda has basically entered Banner's mind and created a Hulk out of control. And so this is exactly what the Veronica technology was developed for, to encapsulate him so that he doesn't destroy the planet. And so in this scene, basically Iron Man and Hulk battling each other and the destructive elements that go with it.
In the back? Dick move, Banner.
One of the things that we did new, and obviously Ultron himself is a new character. And that was a character that evolved over a period of time. Probably the most difficult component of the design for me was coming up with his voice.
I'm gonna show you something beautiful. Everyone screaming for mercy.
Which again was a collaborative effort in that Dave Accord, who was also a sound designer on the film, he did a pass on it, then handed it off to me. Then I took it another step working with Jeff Ford, and this was over a year ago that we were working on this.
There are no strings on me.
And then we handed it off to Laura Hirschberg, who was handling the dialogue. And then Laura was able to put her own take on it and evolve it even further. So it was a great sort of handoff and collaborative sort of capitalizing on everybody's talent to come up with his voice.
I was designed to save the world. People will look to the sky and see hope. I'll take that from them first.
And the other component of Ultron that was really, really difficult for me was the fact that he's this massive metal entity. And so one of the things I did was I just started recording everything I could think of. And I started thinking, well, what's precision? What's metallic but doesn't sound scrapey but has this sort of smooth quality to it? And Burbank, California is this great town that has anything you can imagine. You can find a shop that sells it. And so I typed in ball bearings and I found Ace Bearing Supply, this little teeny shop which sold hundreds of different types of ball bearings. And I went in there and this guy had this ball bearing. It was about this big, but I was able to revolve it in gyroscopic ways and come up with all these different movements. Probably 100 tracks worth of material, brought it over to the stage, I mixed it together very intensely. It's all very subtle, but lots of different componentry. That was the culmination of a year trying to find the sound of Ultron. And it's not like a really flamboyant sound, but it's a sound that really needs to support a very crucial part of this film. You know what I like about the immersive formats really in my chair is that it is a new challenge for me, and it is a huge challenge. Especially a Marvel film, as we all know, presents us with a massive amount of visual information. So it's not hard to find justification for using the immersive format, but given that there's so much going on, it's hard for that immersive format to often make a major statement. And therein lies the challenge of immersive formats. Bruce Marco, who's a Marvel executive, loves the immersive. He just loves new technologies, and so he really wanted us to embrace the Atmos format, which we did. So one of the things that I love about the format is it gives us not just full frequency surrounds, like we have full frequency on the screen, but also gives us bass management in the back as well as the front. So we're able to, without making it overall louder, we're able to give a lot more power to the track. We're lifting a city off. I mean, a full-on city is lifting off of the planet and going into the atmosphere. So the immersive technology allows me to make that a bit more of a powerful experience. And there's at one point where we go underground and all this machinery starts flying above us and engaging above us, and Thor looks up, and it's a great opportunity for me to sort of sell this world of mechanical stuff above us, starting up and grinding away. One of the things that's cool about this is that I'm not the only one to do these films, and there's been a lot of talent worked on some of the previous films that I haven't been involved in. So things like Cap's shield, Thor's hammer, those are sounds that, are signature to those characters that were created by other people. And likewise, Iron Man, both Frank and I created him along with JR, and so we carry those components as signature components, develop them further, but we celebrate those sounds in a signature fashion, and Marvel's really looking for us to do that.
There are